guys, it is 12:10 p.m. right now, so it's just a little bit past 11 a.m. and I'm traveling over to the land, and I need to go to my PO box and pick up some mail. So that's like about an hour and a half drive if you're driving 65. If you're driving 70 or 80, which the speed limit turns out to be over here at times, you just have to keep an eye on it on the signs. So you get there in about an hour to where I live, and then if you go all the way to the small town, maybe a little longer. I see the least I've taken to make it to my land, or at least to the entrance, is like 50 minutes, and that's driving real fast. So we're going to be coming up to a checkpoint pretty soon. Sheriff on the left. Have y'all seen that gray board? That's the county sheriff. Show you the checkpoint. Started the video, we're actually right in Hudson County. That's leaving El Paso County. So some of y'all might be asking if I'm from El Paso. No, I'm not from El Paso. I'm actually from South Texas, but raised in East Texas, which is Houston. And I ended up moving over to Hudson because that's where I have my property. And I come to El Paso to work. El Paso is real nice, you know, some of you, it's pretty, but it lacks water. It doesn't have rivers, it doesn't have lakes, except, if I'm correct, one man-made lake that they have. And yes, they do have water in the homes, but that's the part of the utilities. So they've tapped into the reservoir or whatever you call it, I forget, you know, under the ground. Difficult for a blue-collar worker to get over here. Certain things that I do, they're very hard to come by over here, like being a machine operator, plasma table operator, punch press operator, stamping operator. It's been very difficult to find any of that. We're at the checkpoint right now. So this is the immigration checkpoint. So you'll see the immigration officers. This is not a DPS checkpoint. So they're pretty much checking for any illegal activity, as maybe coming in without a visa or a passport, or transporting drugs, which the DPS are talking about. Hello, how you doing? Okay, you too. They usually ask you a couple of questions, but days like today, they'll let you go right away. I also think that they might have something. This is only speculating, but I think they probably have a computer right there to where if you're like a regular coming through here, they already know who you are. They'll just look at your windows. Now that's pure speculation on my part, but I'm thinking they have some kind of. They might even have a visual recognition on the computer. I'm not sure. So my GoPro battery is at 33%. I didn't put a new one in. I thought that one was fully charged. So I just go through till it runs out, and I pull over, and then I insert a new one. I'm gonna do the whole filming, and then I'll just edit or cut some of the quiet parts. We're filming with talk and music. Some of you that are not familiar with this part of Texas would probably say, where's the trees at? Well, they do have a few, and they're like on the side of the road. And wherever most of the water drains into or goes downhill into, that's where you're going to see most of the greener shrubs, because we are in a desert. Now, this is not like the sand type of desert right here. This is just like the Old West. For any of you that might be in a different country and have you seen American cowboy movies, this is pretty much it, what you see in the movies. So there are a lot of mesquite. I don't call them trees, a lot of them, because they're not real big. I call them big shrubs. But like on the side of the road, if it rains a lot, you'll find the big mesquite. Because you can see we're going downhill and the water drains down. Those are not mesquite, but usually you find some. You find some palms and all kinds of other small trees and shrubs. Now, if you go to somebody's property, if they're a farmer or a rancher, then because they have access to water, you're gonna find pine trees, oak trees, different trees that they take care of, that they most likely planted themselves, or when they took over the ranch, they were there. Everything right here on the side of the road is pretty dry right now because it's still winter, but they get green as long as there's rain. So I'm going to bypass my entrance to where I live, and I'm going to go straight to the post office to pick up my mail. like lower valleys and the parts that are flat, and that's where I've I've noticed that when people farm, if they own that part, it's the easiest to, I would imagine, dig down and get water, as far as the water well goes, because it's going to be less depth. So picture this right here. We're going downhill. I know the camera doesn't do it justice. That red car